Hello, my beautiful viewers on E360. I just got a confirmation that the opening video failed, so I'm not sure what's cooking. So I want to say 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 0. Welcome to the Power Hour TV show. I hope that you love my countdown. I didn't know what to do. It still keeps on telling me something is failing. But I'm just going to pray everything is going to be amazing. Today's show is very heartfelt for me. Today's show is episode 72, season 2. And the theme for today is healing. But our title is Thriving Behind Chronic Illness. All of my amazing guests is an example and an inspiration, not only for me, but I hope for a lot of the people out there in the world. Sometimes when things happen, you don't want to go on. All these amazing individuals are still going on, are still thriving, and they are inspiring so many others. The ladies are on my amazing Diamond Beauty Forever women's community, and Gordon is on my beautiful Tanzanite Heroes community. And I am inspired by them. I'm inspired by them, how they inspired others. So today's show is very special. I had this show in mind for 3 months. And I met a beautiful, beautiful lady, Laurie Kay, a month ago. And I knew the show is completed because she will be part of the show. So I am today truly honored and privileged to meet all these amazing ladies and Gordon. So today I've got two sponsors. I've got my sponsor, Jose Escobar. I would love to play his video, but I've got another sponsor. I'm truly privileged to have one. Thank you, my beautiful Laurie Kay, for giving me the opportunity to work on your commercial. I'm going to bring you into the studio. Are you ready? Here you come.
Oh.
Okay. Hello, my beautiful Lorica. I am going to ask you to introduce you while with the other guests, but I just want to say thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to work on your commercial. And I know your internet says here unstable connection, but we will do the best that we can. So are you ready to see your commercial? Your commercial will be also played at the end of the show as well. Are you ready?
I am. Thank you.
Here we go.
Would you like your life to have more ease and flow? Hi, I'm Laurie Kay. In the past, I have had chronic illness, and now I help dissolve the trauma held in the nervous system and change ancestral baggage and subconscious programs, helping people have more energy, clarity, calmness, and joy. I have free gifts for you. Chapters from my best-selling books, a masterclass that teaches how to turn on the success switch in the brain and body, and a healing session to help the nervous system. You'll find the link below. Also, I have a success membership. It's $35 a month, and it's in beta. I will always honor that price point for you. I love that swinging picture. Oh my goodness.
That is my favorite one when I was. Thank you. That was my favorite one, and that is also my and my heart overflows because I could see your happiness in your face. My swing imagination was a very big thing for me to lose my weight. That was my dreaming point, to fit in a swing, because I could not fit in a swing. I could not fit in a swing. And that was my dreaming point. And when I saw your swing, I knew I had to bring that in. So thank you so much. I'm so happy you love it. I was so happy. I'm going to play Jose's video, and then the rest of my guests will be here. And we will start with the introductions. Are you ready for my Jose's sponsors video as well, my beautiful Laurie Kay?
I can't wait to see it.
Okay, here we go.
Is Jose Escobar. I live in Washington, D.C. area. I'm a family man. I'm an entrepreneur, coach, author, and speaker. I have communities. I support people. I'm a servant leader, and the list goes on. And I'm primarily the CEO of the Connected Leaders Academy. That's my bread and butter. That's my core offer, right? That's where I put most of my time and energy. And the Connected Leaders Academy is a growing community. It's a tribe of some of the highest level entrepreneurs from all over the world. We're now over 350 plus members, 42 states across the US, and 17 international countries. If you're an entrepreneur out there that's looking to grow personally and professionally, scale your influence, develop your skill sets, move the needle in your business, more money, more clients, right? This is the community for you.
My guest is here. My guest is here. I am truly excited. And thank you, my beautiful guest. So, my beautiful Laurie Kay, I could see, and your face made it so I feel so happy that you are happy with your commercial. May I ask you if you can introduce yourself, please?
I am a success coach that combines body and mind practices to help be able to move forward in gentle ways. And I love serving all kinds of people, but those that have the chronic illness are close to my heart because that has been a part of my life for 30 years that I've worked through.
Thank you. Thank you, my beautiful Laurie Kay. Just want to let my beautiful viewers know that Laurie Kay's connection is unstable, and we are going to go through this and still going to continue, because that is just how it is. Thank you, my beautiful Laurie Kay. I will be coming back to you. My beautiful Christa, can you introduce yourself and tell us where you're from?
Absolutely. Thank you. My name is Christa. I'm from Ontario, Canada, and I'm the author of Amazon #1 best-selling book, Skip the Pain, Experience the Pleasure. And I do have a tagline, and it's cut the crap that's holding you back so you can live the life you love. And when I say that, I say crap as an acronym of clarity reveals amazing possibilities. And when we take those blinders off and those masks off, we can truly live the life we love. I'm also an international speaker, a Reiki master. I do different energy work and holistic healing through foods as well. So I'm just truly honored to be here. And thank you, Sanet, and thank you to all the listeners.
Wow, thank you, my beautiful Christa. My beautiful Anne, you are already in our future. You are already on Monday. Please introduce yourself and tell us where you're from.
Good morning for me. Hi, I'm Anne. I'm from Tunbridge, which is in Tasmania, Australia, tiny little township with a population of around about 100, so very rural. I'm also a now 3-time published author. You can see them. Whoop, go the right way. You can see them in the background. I always have trouble doing this. So Seasons of My Life, that is my memoir. The one in the middle is Beyond Limits, funnily enough, called Navigating Life with Chronic Disease. And the third one, I'm a co-author. My sister's project is called Dear Nurse Me Transitions, Navigate Change, Nurture Wellbeing. I'm also 63, a mother, a wife, a daughter, a sister, a lover, a friend, a teacher of life, now a coach, and a person who lives with chronic illness.
I love that. Thank you. My beautiful Gordon, can you introduce yourself and tell us where you're from? Let me just see. Okay, you can talk, my beautiful Gordon. I just had to mute you because you've got the. But while you speak, let us hear what you have to say.
I'm in Ontario, Canada, too, and I'm a resiliency and legacy strategist. I am a champion performance catalyst. I work with a pro basketball team here in Ontario and Canada. My avatars are pro athletes and elite entrepreneurial men. I also have lived for a decade with multiple chronic challenges. I am an executive producer and host of a nationally syndicated live radio show, a TV show, and a podcast that happens weekly. I'm into my third season of that. I've lost track of how many times I'm published author, #1 international bestseller. I internationally speak all over the place, and I love coming to connect with you and with the people that are on the panel. There's always some amazing people on the panel, and your guests.
Thank you, my beautiful Gordon. So I don't know what's a sound there at your back, but thank you for muting yourself. My beautiful Julie, beautiful.
Thank you.
Your
Can you hear me?
background, yes, and your background is exquisite, and you look just beautiful. Please introduce yourself and tell us where you're from. Wow, wow, wow.
It's a crystal tree. Yeah, I just hung it up today, just trying it out. So I'm glad you like it. So my name is Julie Diaz. I live in New Jersey, and I grew up in Connecticut, born in Guam. I've lived in Texas and a few other places, but here I am in New Jersey. The Garden State is more beautiful than people think. And I am a certified health coach, and I'm also a technical content strategist for Medidata. And I'm certified in this and that, Reiki, aromatherapy, herbology. I'm always studying and signing up for courses. So I love everything that has to do with healing, because I've been managing a chronic illness for 25 years. And sometimes I'm conquering it. Sometimes there's little bumps along the road. And that's what this show is about, to encourage people, because sometimes you're doing great. Sometimes you can have a relapse, but there's so much you can do to feel better, and you should never give up. And that's my message in my book, Conquer Hashimoto's, which is launching soon.
Wow. And please, when you launch it, please tell me, and let me do a big splash into the Diamond Beauty Forever group and the Tanzanite Euros, so that we can support you becoming the best global sellers as well. So thank you, my beautiful Julie.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm excited.
Thank you. So my beautiful viewers on E360, next on Thursday, the Power Hour TV show is going to be incredible, and have done an amazing course for any one of the Diamond Beauties to attend. So I attended it. And that day, my eyes open. I don't have a chronic illness. My sister is a diabetic. But I never understood the way that when you're going through this, your energy levels, your mind, everything, this is like taking all over, and you have to get away. I almost want to say to get away from that, to stand by yourself and say, I want to go on. So, Anne, your beautiful masterclass have opened my eyes. I've cried a few times during your session, and I ask you if we can have the privilege to have your masterclass on Thursday in the next Power Hour. So the whole Thursday this coming week will be your masterclass that we will be going through. You will also be the sponsor for that show, so we're going to advertise your next masterclass as well. But I wanted to ask you about the sugar thing, because before I'm asking everybody a question, I wanted to ask you, I never had a concept of you've got this amount of energy, and if you use this amount, you cannot really spend more energy on something else. Can you just explain about the sugar, the teaspoons?
So is
Please?
it the spoon theory that you're speaking about that I spoke about on the workshop? So that is was actually developed, and I'm sure most of you know this lady, Christine Misrandino. She lives with lupus, and she was explaining to a friend who had asked her, how are you doing? And the friend had been to a lot of her clinical appointments. So Christine started explaining more about lupus and the things that she needs to do to manage that. And her friend stopped her and she said, no, I want to know how you are doing. So she thought for a moment and she gathered up 12 spoons and handed them to her friend. And she said to her friend, each one of these spoons represents energy that you expend, that you choose to expend on an activity, that you have to consciously make that decision. So things like, for some of us, when our energy drain and our fatigue is so low, just getting up, getting out of bed, having a shower, preparing for the day, each of those can cost up to 1 spoon. If you wake up already unwell, you've already expended 4 spoons, and you only have the 12 spoons for each day. So you have to make a conscious decision each day on how to spend those spoons, and it's something that we all consciously do. For those who do not live with chronic disease or chronic illness of any form, it's very difficult for them to understand, and I find it a great way to explain that. In fact, explaining that to my husband gave him a much greater insight. And we now have a shortcut, and all I have to say to him is, spoon's gone, and he will say, okay, feet up, off to bed, I'll take over. Or if we're out, he said, okay, pack up, let's head home. And that's all I need to say, so I don't have to go into a long-winded explanation. And it just is just wonderful to do that.
So that's incredible. When I met Anne the other day, I asked her how many spoons does he have left for me, for the day, and she said she's got 4, but she will share 1 for me. And I was truly honored that she gave me 1 of her spoons for the day, and I was singing to her, a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down, the medicine go down. My beautiful Anne, can you tell us what is the chronic illness that you are dealing with?
So I live with autoimmune, and it is a complex condition. I actually call it complex autoimmune syndrome, which is the easiest way for me to explain to someone. So I'm like a round peg trying to fit into square clinical holes or clinical boxes. I don't neatly define, but I've got rheumatoid arthritis, I have vasculitis, I have Sjogren's, I have Raynaud's, I have small fibre polyneuropathy. There's a question mark over myositis. I used to call it my condition. I used to call it I now call it Jan. And Jan is my companion for life. She walks beside me. When she plays up, when she's recalcitrant, instead of swearing profusely at her, which I still do at times, I can simply say, not happy, Jan, and move forward.
That is so beautiful. Thank you for sharing, my beautiful Anne.
You're
So,
welcome.
my beautiful Laurie Kay, I don't know if you know the spoons and you know the analysis of the spoons, but how do you explain to your folks where your energy is there's no more energy to spend for the day? Do you have an explanation to give to your family and friends?
I've kind of trained them where I at any time can just go lay down and deep breathe. I don't necessarily, I raised 4 children and that was really hard. My husband would sometimes say, and mom needs a timeout. And I would just go deep breathe in bed and not be offended that he used that term because he could tell that I was having a hard time. But yeah, I would choose to not feel guilty about things not being done. And they knew they didn't put any pressure on me for things not being done. There would be days that I'd be sitting on the couch and I would look at the ceiling and say, oh, how clean that is. And I'd feel joy in the clean ceiling because everywhere else in the house was a disaster. And my husband would allow me to celebrate. I'm like, I did this today. He's like, good job, dear. And so my house was very filled with compassion and love and freedom for me to deep breathe and rest when I needed to rest. But I also learned how to pull in energy and vibrate at the mitochondria level of my cells and say, hey, sweet girl, can we go serve in this way and do this with this child? And I would check in with my body and I'd feel a yes. And then I'd breathe in I call it the light of Christ. It could be chi. And I would see it going into my cells, empowering them up so that I could go serve. And I had to be mindful how often I would do that, but I could do that. And it was very, I don't know, it blessed me to be able to play those kind of games that I've learned through energy work, hypnotherapy, and brain rewiring techniques.
That is so beautiful. So you just gave me goosebumps. I said to my husband, I have to put this glasses nearby because my guest today is going to give me goosebumps. And I am teary, but not teary in a sad way, but teary in a amazingness way, because you are all here. And that was my dream, to have all of you here. So my beautiful Laurie Kay, can you tell us what chronic illness are you going, or do you have?
Well, it's fascinating because back in so long ago, 35 years ago, they didn't have the diagnoses that they do now. So it's just Hashimoto's, which is in remission at this time, and scoliosis, and having rolled a car without a seatbelt. So I have chronic pain from that. But I don't digest food. I get rashes on my hands. There's fancy names for it. I choose not to remember all those details. I don't want to use a spoon to try and remember all the names of all the things. And instead, I focus on sending love to my body, because I could not do that. I just sent anger all the time. Fibromyalgia, that's an easy one, just chronic pain all the time. But yeah, that's the game that I've been playing for a long time. It's I guess it's only been 32 years of playing the game of chronic illness, but really pulling out of it, where I, through lifestyle, tremendous amount of lifestyle and tremendous amount of mind games, I get to a place of peace and more ease and joy. It's wonderful.
Well, thank you for sharing that, my beautiful Laurie Kay. I love your spirit. I love that you say to your beautiful body, can we go and serve? And then you are able to do that. So thank you so much. So my beautiful Christa and Julie, I am going to give Gordon the in-between. I'm going to call him the in-between the four women. So let me just unmute you, my beautiful Gordon. Can you please tell us, how do you communicate to your family and friends that your energy is not available at this moment for them?
I spend a lot of time sleeping to try and get away from, because it's I haven't found some of it's lifestyle, and for some of the bits and pieces of the challenge. And as you know, 30 years of Energizer Bunny without doing any self-care. I was teaching it, but I wasn't doing it. And so now I talk a lot about self-care. And when I say to my friends, family, clients, whatnot, I need self-care, they understand what that means in terms of, hey, you know what? I need to go and eat. I need to go and hydrate. I need to have a nap. I need to, whatever it is, I need to go and do that. And they understand. I've got a wonderful, wonderful wife that, after 32 years of being married to her, she'll have, my mom keeps saying she'll have some special jewels in her crown for the way she looks after me and puts up with some of me. But yeah, it's a lot of lifestyle stuff. It's a lot of paying attention now to my body, right? What's it saying? And I'm very careful about who I spend my time and energy with for that very reason, right? I steer clear of energy vampire type humans because I just can't do it, right? And so something I had learned from John Wooden years and years ago, was, some people I can spend 2 minutes with, but I couldn't spend 2 hours. And some people I can spend 2 hours, but not 2 days, and 2 days, but not 2 weeks, that kind of thing. And so, because there's some people I can't get away from, there's certain people in my life I have to have some engagement with. There's no way to get away from them. So I just limit the amount of space and time and it's caused some challenges. My family, I've got 3 younger sisters, and 2 of them I don't talk to, haven't for more than 15 years for that very reason. It's toxic, and I don't let that in any other part of my life, and I get a lot of heat from family for that.
Well, thank you, my beautiful Gordon. Can you tell us what chronic illnesses are you living with?
I can. It's, again, autoimmune type stuff. So I've got type 2 insulin using diabetes. I've got Crohn's, ulcerative colitis. And then something that they haven't been able to figure out yet is migraine level. It's not migraine, head pain. And it's bad enough that it puts me in bed. Initially, it put me in bed 23, 24 hours out of a day, every day, because I just couldn't function. It's the only way. I've got the strongest prescription for morphine you can get outside of a hospital in the house, and it doesn't take it away. So every 6.5 weeks, I get 23 injections into my head to try and reduce it. And it reduces it enough I can function a little bit. But as soon as you start to add barometric pressure and some other things to it, it gets worse. So anyway, I'm still here. That's good.
Thank you. And you are inspiring the world. Thank you so much, my beautiful Gordon, for doing what you are doing. I will be coming back to you. Thank you, my beautiful Christa. The reason why I said thank you, because I wanted to mute Gordon and he muted himself, and that's the reason for thank you. And my beautiful Christa, can you tell us, how do you tell your family that you cannot spend energy at the moment?
You know what? I love the spoon. I never heard of that. But one thing, there's a couple of things I've done is I've said, use the analogy of a car with gas. So I would say, my tank is full right now. And I would take advantage of those times to be able to do whatever I need to do. Sometimes I would be running on half a tank. And sometimes I would wake up and my tank would already be empty. So I had to learn how to deal with those times, especially when I had a family and I had a job where I had a life I had to continue. So I would do many type of things, a lot of holistic things, a lot of visualization of what I wanted to be, because I really suffered from like identity loss. And the other thing I do is I will be out and I'll say, someone pulled my plug. That's all I have to say to my husband, and he totally gets it. Like I'll literally be in the middle of doing something and I just said, no, someone pulled my plug. And it's like, wherever we are, if it's in a store, we have to go right out, like at that moment, as if I can just sit down. I'm so exhausted.
Wow. Thank you for telling us. Can you tell us your chronic illness that you are living with, please, Christa?
Yeah, I have quite a few, definitely autoimmune. So when I was 14, I was bit by a tick and it was tested. I do have Lyme disease and had the rash and the bullseye rash. And at the time, I'm not going to do the math, but I was 14. And I was told, take antibiotics for, 7 to 10 days. And that is not the way to treat it. So I now have chronic Lyme. I was in a car accident in my 20s and I developed whiplash and fibromyalgia from that. And that continued on. And I ended up with different symptoms where I would end up with hives all over my body. So the next kind of diagnosis, where after I did doctor shopping, I do have arthritis and all those doctors were right, but we didn't know what it was until my earth angel sent my blood work to Spain. So I'm a very big health advocate of, if you don't fit in the box, try to see if you have a rare disease, because you might be one of those 1 in a million. And guess what? I was 1 in a million. So I have, it's called anti-GAD 65 and stiff person. So the normal levels are under 5. And at the time my test was over 250. And then now the test is 450. And then as soon as we were able to find that, so I went from basically looking like this, all scrunched up, and then in the hospital in catatonic state for months and months and months, not able to, use a zipper. People don't understand what it is, not able to talk, not able to walk. So in the other where it goes is to, I do have hypothyroidism. Here, where I live in Canada, they don't necessarily, they won't really say Hashimoto's. They won't test for it. So it doesn't matter. I don't focus on a word, but they will say I have hypothyroidism. And then neutropenia. So my neutrophils are low. So I end up kind of going through that. And that also created some psychological chronic illnesses. And I do want to bring that up because I do have complex PTSD and I do fight major depression. And I think that's really important to bring up because people think that chronic illness is only physical, but in my case, and I feel in many, many cases, it's, a whole mind, body, and spirit.
Thank you for telling us, Christa. I really appreciate you. Thank you for inspiring the world, not only with your book, but in the Diamond Beauties as our clarity expert as well. And thank you also for being a co-host on Soul Diamond Author's Journey. Thank you, my beautiful.
I always forget to say that. I got to remember that.
Yeah, you are a co-host. You are a co-host. Thank you. So, my beautiful Julie, I'm here with you. Are you ready? Yes, we are all in the Diamond.
I am. I was just grabbing my copy of Soul of a Diamond, which is Sanet's book, but she invited generously 20 other ladies to tell their stories in this compilation of inspiring stories of women, and it's just amazing. So thank you for inviting me in that journey. And, I have to start out by just saying that Christa left me in her dust in Sedona in the mountains. For someone with stiff person syndrome, she climbed a mountain like it was nothing. Like it was amazing. I was like, don't you need to bring your cane? She's like, no, I don't want to get it dirty. She climbs the mountain. Like we went to 7 different vortexes and she's like, I'm getting dizzy. I had to sit down and she just left. She's just like amazing. I couldn't believe how you climbed those mountains, girl. It was incredible.
Wow. Thank you for telling us. But really, I just need to put sunglasses, my heart-shaped sunglasses on for Christa. And then also for you, my beautiful Judy, for acknowledge that. Please, can you tell us, how do you tell your family and friends that your energy is now non-negotiable?
Well, I'm not married anymore. And my ex used to tell me I take too many breaks. And he hardly helped me with the housework. And when I was done, I just had to sit down. So, he didn't understand. And unfortunately, all of you are really lucky to have good mates. But a lot of people, even that are still married, have problems communicating that and getting their mates to acknowledge that they need more help. But I have 2 boys. They're grown and they help me. They could do more, but, our boys are. So it's not perfect. The house is not perfect all the time. And we've all, we're all cool with that. So no problem there. But yeah, I like the analogy that Christa says about pulling the plug. It's like someone pulled the plug. It's like, now I usually have energy all day until I get to after dinner. Then I want to sit down and relax for a while. But luckily now, my energy is pretty good. So I can't really complain. But yeah, when you lose the strength, it's just like I used to say, a wrung out dish rag, just nothing left.
Well, I never thought about that. So thank you so much for that. My beautiful Judy, can you tell us your chronic illness?
Yeah, a couple of them I forgot, like other people mentioned. I'm like, oh yeah, I have that, I have that. So predominantly Hashimoto's, which I went undiagnosed with for 10 years, and 95% of hypothyroidism is caused by Hashimoto's. So shame on you, Canada. And also I have hidradenitis suppurativa. Probably most people haven't heard of that, but it's like infections of the hair follicles, and it's really awful. But I actually cured it by just pretty much taking vitamin C. Vitamin C is amazing, and I don't get it anymore. My doctor wanted to know. He's like, I was asking him for advice, and he was like, "Well, how did you? That looks great." He's like, "How'd you do that?" I'm like, "Vitamin C." Anyway, I had Lyme disease twice. I was in a car accident, and I was in a sledding accident where like an idiot, I went on a saucer and down a hill that had 2 bumps. They called it Dead Man's Hill. And when I went over the second bump, I went flying up in the air like 30 feet. And when I came down, the wind shear was blowing the saucer behind me, and I'm holding on the handles with all my might to keep it under me. But it was just a little, off. So when I hit, the back of my head went boom and hit the back of the mountain. So I had pretty bad whiplash from that and from the car accident. And I learned later that whiplash, first of all, affects women more because the bones are a little more delicate in our necks. But secondly, that's also related to thyroid disease. Our thyroids are in our necks. So if we injure our necks, we may have, there may be a correlation there with
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much for that, Julie. So we have Adam Lazar. He said, sending love to your body. What a simple but excellent to do. So that was for you, Laurie Kay. And then I think Tia Marie knows you, my beautiful Julie. She says, hello, Julie. And then she said, that's what I have explained to my son, that I got tired quickly while doing homework. Thank you so much for that, my beautiful viewers.
Thank you, Karen and Tisha. Love you.
So, my beautiful Lorika, are you ready? Let me play your beautiful commercial again, and then I'm going to ask all of you, do you have advice for anybody out there that is currently going through a chronic illness? And if you have steps to help them as well. So I'm going to start with Anne, and then Laurie Kay and Gordon, and then Christa and Julie. So my beautiful Laurie Kay, here goes your video.
Thank you.
Okay, it tells me there's an error. I cannot play. Just give me 1 second. Let me try again.
Would you like your life to have more ease and flow? Hi, I'm Lori Kay. In the past, I have had chronic illness, and now I help dissolve the trauma held in the nervous system and change ancestral baggage and subconscious programs, helping people have more energy, clarity, calmness, and joy. I have free gifts for you. Chapters from my best-selling books, a masterclass that teaches how to turn on the success switch in the brain and body, and a healing session to help the nervous system. You'll find the link below. Also, I have a success membership. It's $35 a month, and it's in beta. I will always honor that price point for you.
Oh, wow. It was such an honor to work on your beautiful... Oh, Julie is giving you a heart shape. And Gordon is... And there's another heart shape from Christa. And yes to you, my beautiful Laurie. Laurie, thank you so much for that. So today I didn't bring it out the hand claps, because I do believe this is exactly how it should be. But my beautiful ones, at the end of the show, I will bring out the paparazzi when I'm asking your golden nuggets. Okay, so now I wanted to go to Anne. So my beautiful Anne, can you give advice to somebody out there that is watching this show and really needs your advice? Thank you.
So if someone approached me with my advice, I would first ask them how they were doing and to tap into their inner strength. to find acceptance. So that's not about giving up or about giving in. It is acceptance and acknowledgement, and then tapping into your inner strength to find your resilience. If you are struggling to be heard, then use your voice. Advocate for yourself. Seek knowledge. Seek a second opinion. You're allowed to. You're also allowed to use your voice to prioritize self-care. It is most important. And I would give them permission to say no. The no to overcommitment. That you are allowed to say no. I guess emotional overwhelm is very real, particularly when you're first diagnosed with a chronic illness or a chronic health condition, because you can feel that your life has changed irrevocably. So I'm here to tell them it does not. It goes on a different pathway, absolutely. There are changes, there are challenges, absolutely. But it does not mean your life is over. And it's amazing that when you realize that, get the support and the help that you need, particularly if you're struggling with emotional and mental health, to find that to support to make your way through, because anxiety, depression, PTSD, they are chronic illnesses. They are classified as chronic illnesses. And then once you find your way through that to a place of peace and acceptance, you can gain your independence, you can find purpose, find passion, and support others. And yes, guys, I am a nurse. I was a registered nurse. I am now retired. That is my background, and my specialty was chronic disease management in primary care. So I come from quite an experienced background from that point of view, but it went beyond clinical when I was speaking to patients or the people living with chronic illness. I then applied that to myself. My gold nugget, it is written in there. It is based around the concept or the acronym of VIP, but not very important person. It is voice, independence, and purpose. So assert your voice clear. Embrace independence near. Purpose in each step or stride.
I love it. Are you ready for paparazzi? I love that. I love your golden nugget. I love the explanation of that as well. And thank you for giving the tips for the viewers out there. So Tia Maria said to Julie, I love you more. And then Darren, thank you for a beautiful message for Christa. Love your message, Christa. And Darren again, you went through so much. Oh, Darren, yes to you, my beautiful Darren. My beautiful Laurie Kay, can you give advice or some tips for the viewers out there, please?
I can share what I just did yesterday when I couldn't get out of bed. I had a lot of pain and just pain everywhere. And so even with me doing lifestyle with how I choose to eat, how I choose to think, I still have hard moments. And this day was one of those. What I did was focus on one aspect of my body that was hurting. And I call myself Sweet Girl. And I'm like, I call my body Sweet Girl. So I believe I have a spirit inside my body. And so I'm like, hey, Sweet Girl, you're having a hard time, aren't you? And then I find one spot that I'm going to talk to. And so I put my hand on my low back. And sometimes I can't reach where I need to be, touching, but I put my hand if I can. I'm like, hey, sweet girl, I hear you. I want to understand you. I want to send love to you. And I breathe in that area. And I believe in connecting to a higher power. I used to be so mad at God. Oh, I was ticked. How dare you make me like this? And so I've had to work through that higher power thing. But I connect to my higher power and I ask for light to go into that body part. And the thing with the brain is if you declare something and you can get an emotion with a picture, you start rewriting your brain. and it starts making new neural pathways to have it be experienced differently. So by me softening and giving myself compassion and love instead of, why are you like this? I did lots of that for many, many years, basically screaming and cursing my body. And so instead, I talk to it, and I'm sending breath and light and love. And sometimes when I ask an open-ended question of, what do you need? I don't have my brain to try and figure it out, but by asking the open-ended question, the way I've trained my brain, it starts seeing the solutions and it comes to me, and I get an aha. Oh, I need to drink more water. Oh, I should have stretched a little bit. Oh, I shouldn't have stretched like that. Oh, I get awarenesses when I have an open-ended question of, what do you need? How can I support you? And sometimes nothing happens, and I used to beat myself up about that, and I've chosen not to. I've chosen to take the club away and just like, no, we're going to be kind to the sweet girl. And my tip is, it's always better to have compassion for yourself. It's always better. The anger that you send is not helping your physical body function better. So have compassion.
That's so beautiful. I love your golden nugget to have compassion for yourself. Are you ready for paparazzi?
Yes.
Thank you so much, my beautiful Lorica, my beautiful Gordon. Do you have a tip for the viewers out there, and then also your golden nugget?
Absolutely. So I would echo what Anne said in terms of advocating for yourself. A lot of times we don't speak up. We just sort of go, well, the doctor's going to know. And sometimes they don't. Sometimes that's just not the case. And so going to multiples, and you're right, you have every opportunity and every right to say, you know what, I want a second or a third or however many you need to get to the answer. And sometimes pushing, and I know for me with the head pain, I've been through 3 neurosurgeons. I just keep pushing and pushing and pushing because they just can't figure it out. And so where a lot of people had stopped pushing, I just kept pushing. And we need to do that for ourselves. Advocating. The other thing is in terms of when I wake up, and I resonate with Lori Kay talking about waking up, and even Christa talk about not having any energy. You wake up and someone's already pulled the plug, and you're like, okay, now what do I do? And when I'm in that dark spot, I used to do it a lot. I don't do it so much anymore, but I would do a thing where I would go right to the bottom of my messenger list, whether it's on Facebook or on regular straight up text messages. But I would scroll right to the bottom. I've got a couple hundred conversations going all at the same time. And so, but some of these people I haven't talked to in a while. And I would scroll right to the bottom, and I would say to them, you know what? I'm thinking about you. I don't know what's going on for you today, but I'm sending you love and big hugs. And then I would copy paste, and I would do it 60, 80 times. And that made me feel better. It lifted my spirit. But about a third of those people would reach out and go, hey, we haven't talked in forever. It's good to hear from you. And that lifted me up again. And so, what I found interesting, that gives me goosebumps. What I found later, after the bulk of that first 5 or 6 years, I ran across a buddy that he said to me, he was struggling mentally. He still has some really deep mental awareness challenges that he battles with. And he said to me during that time, he said, you would send me, it was the weirdest thing. He said, I would get a message from you that said, hey, I'm thinking about you. I love you. Big hugs. And he said, he would over and over and over. He's like, I don't understand how he knows I needed to hear that. And I'm like, well, I didn't, but somebody I'm plugged into did. And so, I'm a firm believer that our purpose for all of us is to love each other. Wow. Now that's going to show up different, right? And in terms of golden.
Sorry, my beautiful Gordon. Sorry, my beautiful Gordon. Gordon, can you give me your golden nugget? I'm pretty sorry because I really want to give Christa and Julie also a few minutes.
is to give yourself the grace you so freely give everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Yes, to you, my beautiful Gordon. Are you ready? Thank you so much. My beautiful Christa, you've got a minute and a half, and I'm sorry to put you in a short
No,
minute.
that's okay. So I first of all echo what everybody says, and I have an acronym, and it's WAIT, and this could stand for what am I thinking? And when I'm starting to spiral down, or say I can't do this, I can't. Every time I say can't, I end it with yet. And so what am I thinking? I check my thoughts and what do I want to think instead? What am I talking? Why am I talking? What is people saying? I pay attention to that. When people start saying, oh my goodness, you look fine. What are you talking about? Maybe you're lazy. I start thinking that, and I'll even say that. But now I've learned it's okay to say no, and it's okay to say, I'm not fine. I don't have to smile all the time and say, yeah, it's okay. And then the last one is what actions I'm taking. So I have to be definitely a health advocate, putting it out there, sharing my message, supporting other people. And I'm not going to steal this from Julie too much, but I'm definitely what we eat are nutritional supplements. I'm on a very big regime, and I know I'm going to leave that part to Julie because she's definitely one of the experts in that. And my golden nugget is, for me, this is a saying: I'd rather be remembered for overcoming my tragedies than being a victim of them.
I love that. Are you ready for paparazzi? Oh, wow. Beautiful. My beautiful Judy, I am asking the same question for you.
Okay. First off, before I get to the health tip of the day, mental illness is in my family, and I really resonate with all of you, what you've said. And one exercise that I would do is I would visualize golden light from Jesus and green light from Archangel Raphael coming down in ribbons to me and going through all the cells in my body, and then visualizing all my cells happy, like with a happy face. And that I can't take credit for. My friend with MS did that, and she really helped herself to heal by making her cells happy. So there's a lot we can do with our mind. Of course, our mind, body, spirit is connected, but physically there's so much we can do as well. And we have to get the bad stuff out. And most doctors these days, they don't test you for heavy metals and parasites and certain hidden infections that could be making your immune system go crazy. And autoimmune disease has been skyrocketing. There's 50 million people with autoimmune disease. Hashimoto's is the most prevalent. And two of my doctors right here in New Jersey told me they don't tell you you have it because they don't know what to do. So this is what you do. I got a button. Sanet, wait, do you hear this? We're fired. I have some stories in my book, Conquer Hashimoto's, of all the doctors I fired before, because some of them really did a terrible job and I had to fire them. I never told them they were fired. I wasn't mean, but they never heard from me again. How many do you think called to check up on me?
None.
Zero. None of them. No. But that's okay. If you're not getting what you need from one doctor, please go to another one, and please take vitamin D, because most people are deficient. And if you don't have enough, your autoimmune disease, it's really struggles. You have to have enough vitamin D. Like if the range is from 30 to 100, you want to be up around 60 to 80. That's what the functional medicine doctors recommend. So that's my tip for today.
Thank you. And I'm going to ask you your golden nugget. I just wanted to say, Adam said, great advice, Christa, wait. So my beautiful Judy, I needed to do the paparazzi as well. What is your golden nugget?
My golden nugget is to share joy and love, and maybe even a health tip with people everywhere you go, because when you raise other people's energy, it raises your energy as well.
I love it. Are you ready, my girl? Paparazzi. Yes. Wow, beautiful. So my beautiful guest, Adam said, laugh out loud. You are fired. I love that button. I also want that button. So my beautiful guest, thank you so much for being here. I'm not going to ask today if you would love to ask to dance, Our show is just over, and I just quickly need to speak to the viewers. My beautiful viewers on E360, thank you so much for all the commentary. Thank you for listening to us. All of my guests' show notes underneath on E360, you can connect with any of them. Please also do Laurie Kay's video commercial will be placed onto E360, will be played a few times, and then I will also do some placement under my advertisements. Please go to her training, get her videos, samples of a chapter of a book. She is giving that to all of you. How incredible. And don't forget, this coming Thursday, beautiful Anne has got a whole workshop that she have given to all of us in the Diamond Beauties. So my beautiful viewers, have an amazing day. Please look after yourself. My beautiful guest, you are all an inspiration for me. Here is my kissy. Mwah. Bye, everyone. My